Ladies and gentlemen out there watching this podcast, this is coming to you from Majesty Christian Television Network, your popular network, online, cable, and virtual television. So, in case you don't know what we are celebrating today, today is the International Women's Day. International Women's Day globally. It is a day that has been selected all over the whole world to celebrate women and to celebrate their achievement. So we are celebrating the achievement of women today, and the achievement socially, economically, culturally, politically, and otherwise. So it is also a day that has been marked for any woman that have done something tangible to be appreciated in one way or the other. So this day also marks a call to action for accelerating gender parity. Significant activity is witnessed worldwide as groups of women come together to celebrate and collaborate with each other, talking about their achievements and how to forge ahead. So in this very broadcast, we want to contribute our own quota as well as to add our voice to what other women are doing outside. So we're going to look at the pros and cons of what women really have been doing all over the whole world. So permit me at this moment to introduce our well-qualified ladies who are in the panel this afternoon for this broadcast. So if you are just tuning in, please remember you can give us a call on 684-606-550. Chat with us online. You can also write any of your comments on our Instagram or send it to Majesty Christian Television Network Facebook and contribute in your own quota what you feel this day is all about. So our topic for this year in International Women's Day is invest in women, accelerate progress. Invest in women, hashtag accelerate progress. In other words, it is very obvious when you invest in women, then you are towards accelerating what? Progress. So our panelists this afternoon are, I start with the spiritual, and then I can descend to the um to the permit me, is it from the physical to the spiritual or from the spiritual to the physical? So we have all these ladies are women of high pedigree. So I may be shaking my mouth when I'm pronouncing them, but just because they are connected and they are friends, that's why they are down to earth in this platform. And anytime we have women like this, seasoned women like this, I appreciate them, and I want you to help me appreciate them once again. All our fans all over the world, please appreciate these noble women. Appreciate them for me by putting your hands together for them. Hallelujah. So I have the honor to introduce to us Archbishop Sandra Bello, all the way from United States of America, and she is a renowned mother. So I was just speaking to her last night. She said, "I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be here." So just come in. So, Your Lordship, we welcome you to this very wonderful broadcast this afternoon.
Thank you.
I'm sure you are happy to be with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And we also have all the way from Canada our own Reverend Mrs., who is also a barrister at law. She is a barrister Reverend Olusifayo Awolowo Osage. Please.
There's no Awolowo.
So it's only Osage. Osage.
Obafemi Osagai.
Obafemi. And I'll go and be taking Awolowo. All right, because you are great granddaughter. All right, that's okay. So please help us receive her this afternoon. You are welcome to this panel.
Thank you, ma. God bless you all.
So, are you enjoying your stay in Canada?
Yes,
All
very
right.
much.
All right. We're going to talk about that next time. Uh-huh. And we have also our own person here, Dr. Olato Adola. I just saw her 2 weeks ago in a financial symposium, and she happened to be part of the fraction that wanted to hear hear. She was on my own side because I was given the topic on family.
Dynamic.
Eh?
Dynamics.
Family dynamics of finance. So I was given that side to handle, and then she happened to be at my side. So I fell in love with her because she really was contributing so much that you could see that this wasn't just an ordinary woman seated there. She has something more than that to give. So when we finished the symposium, then I just met her. I said I would like to connect with her, and here she is today as a panelist here. Please welcome once again, Dr. Olatun. Welcome to this program.
Thank you.
And then we will just proceed because Apostle Dr. Favor is not yet in, but she will be joining in any moment from now. So, ladies, today is your day, International Women's Day, where we are celebrating both the local and the foreign and the highly sophisticated women and the grassroots women. So if you have a daughter, you have a sister, you have a mother, those of you who are listening to us, please make sure you celebrate them today because women are very, very unique. So now to open up this discussion, which we are having, may I ask each and every one of you, please feel very, very, um, let it be a spontaneous response. Let it be just be yourself. Just relax and be yourself. Do it spontaneously. So I don't need me to be calling you Dr. This and Barrister This. Please, just immediately you feel the intuition to speak, just go ahead and speak. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, may I know what is your flair? What do you think about the celebration of this International Women's Day? How does it make you feel?
Personally feel empowered by the annual marking of International Women's Day in several ways. One way is by celebrating the achievements and the progress made by women around the world, which also serves as a source of inspiration and motivation for me and to continue striving for gender equality and power. Also for the younger generation, especially women of color. And then additionally, the recognition of International Women's Day also provide a platform for raising awareness about important issues facing women globally, such as gender-based, violence, wage inequality, lack of representation in leadership, even within the church body, and by participating in events and discussion surrounding International Women's Day, I'm able to contribute to these, conversations and advocate for those changes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So powerful. Let me hear from the other panelists, please. So this is so powerful. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, praise the Lord. Personally, this day, this International Women's Day empowers me personally by marking this day all over the world. And it also empowers me to remind us of the progress that is made in advancing gender equality also.
Yes.
And it inspires me to celebrate the achievements of women and advocate for change in areas where there's inequality that persists every time, and also serves as a reminder of the strengths, the resilience, the potentials of women worldwide, and the motivation of women also striving for equal rights and also opportunity for all. Also, just like what the Bible says in Proverbs, I think 31, 25 to 27, that says she's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at days to come. She speaks with wisdom. Faithful instruction is on her tongues, and she watches over the affairs of her household. So we have the strength. We have the dignity. We have the wisdom to say yes to this day and make people know that we are important. worldwide.
Awesome,
Amen.
awesome, awesome. Let me hear from Dr. Olatu.
Yeah, yeah. Let me also add that it gives me an opportunity to remember that there's a difference, to celebrate the difference between gender. There are males and there are females, and the women don't need to struggle to become a male to
Yes.
achieve or to put their footprints in the sands of time. You can be a woman by yourself and achieve and reach the heights that God has planned for you without turning yourself into a man, you know. And there is no space where it's impossible for women to get to. I also think that on the International Women's Day, it also helps me to reflect as a person on how I can influence women and support women as well in my own sphere of influence. How I can ensure that, um, I mean, we are sisterhood. You
Yeah.
know, this is not meant to be a competition. Women are not meant to be competing with each other. They are meant to be supporting each other and looking out for each other. You know, some organizations you find women competing, but this is an opportunity, a day to just let us reflect and say we are sisters and we're supposed to support each other. So those are some of the things that I reflect on a day like this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my question is, do you think even the rural women have understood the concept of this International Women's Day, or is it just a day that they think, okay, we are celebrating women? It's just like Mother's Day event. Do you think it is sinking? Please, those of you from Africa, can we be honest?
Yeah,
Is it,
so I mean, I'm thinking, I mean, rural from which part of the world?
yeah,
You know? Because I'm thinking that if we are talking about rural in the real sense of perhaps looking at my hometown,
yes, exactly.
somewhere in north central Nigeria,
Yeah,
where access to internet is poor and
yes,
women have
yes,
limited data.
yes.
If we are thinking of rural women in that sense, um, International Women's Day may not have been able to penetrate those kind of settings in terms of awareness and in terms of opportunities for women to be acknowledged and to be celebrated. I think it's still more of an urban thing. It's still, I mean, it's still part of the inequality that we talk about. So there are some women who are still in some parts of the world where nobody celebrates them, nobody appreciates them. I mean, so I don't think it has gained the kind of prominence that
I
the
don't
man
think so
state
too. I don't think so, because
has
the
gained. Yeah.
awareness is supposed to create. I think it has not really been created, because from the inception of this women event, if we calculate it at this time, it's supposed to have gone a little bit deeper than the surface. Okay, so it's like only those uh, who are in the urban areas and those who are intellectuals, those who are in that platform, they are the only ones who probably each year will bring them to come and celebrate this. But to the rural women, the grassroots, because my passion is for the grassroots. The
Mhm,
grassroots women have not really understood, I mean, the power that lies within her as a woman. So many of them are still being treated in the same old fashioned way, and they've not come to accept the fact that these are the things, these are the uniqueness in women, and I got to arise beyond this level. So that's the reason why, even though we are in this western part of the world, if you go to the migrant community, you will see that they are celebrating nothing. Hello? The
mhm.
migrant community in the Western world, they don't seem to be celebrating. So it's like a time to just talk, and we bring awareness. Those of us in the media, we bring awareness of it. And then after this, just one day, it dies off. Everything just cools. But I think we need to do more to push it more and more and more and more. So it's
Exactly.
yes. Yes, go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. I feel that the sisterhood of supporting one another, and someone mentioned about embracing one another, not being jealous. Um, but the Women's Day is still keeping it light, keeping it front. According to a report by the United Nations, it said International Women's Day provide an opportunity to reflect on the progress made, to
Mhm.
call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who has played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and communities. That
Yes,
doesn't mean we're reaching everybody, but we're reaching the International Women Day is provide reaching some,
yeah,
because this annual event, they said, helps to keep the conversation,
yeah,
about gender equality alive, and to encourage actions towards achieving it. There are women, there are other women in rural area over the world. I'm living in America, but I'm not American born. You living in Netherlands, you're not. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And we know the other corners of the earth that women are still being oppressed. And so as we go forward and we speak, we're still keeping it light, keeping it in forefront.
yeah,
Mhm.
Because while the International Women Day certainly raised awareness about gender inequality and empower women across the world, it is important to note also that bridging the gender gap between men and women is a long-term process.
yes, it is.
Requires, to sustain efforts beyond just one day of
Mhm.
celebration, as stated by, and I think the United Nations executive director stated that International Women's Day is not country, group, or organization specific. The day belongs to all group collectively, everywhere. So I just want to say real quick, in order for International Women's Day to truly contribute towards bridging the gender gap globally, ongoing advocacy, policy change, social shift, those things are essential to continue, because even in the United States, in the 70s, it's just a few years ago, women have certain rights, and we're still fighting for certain rights. So, it's like we get certain level or a certain path, and then sometimes we go step backwards
I
because
think, yeah, you are really making a very good point. When we talk about UN, really, I begin to wonder what UN is really doing in our countries, because it's like it's like they just choose what they want, and then the little they cannot, they do the little they can, and they just stick there, and a lot of things are still going wrong, going wrong, going wrong, going wrong, and going wrong, and you don't see UN coming out boldly to say, okay, this thing is wrong, we put a stoppage to this. This one is wrong, we put a stoppage. It's like they have a way of romancing with the whole thing, and from different countries to different countries, they vary in the way of their operation. I think, see, if this International Women's Day is going to go beyond this level, beyond the surface, we need to UN need to give power to each country that they are in, and then give the women the power, they empower them to take very absolute control over certain situations in their locality. They, not that they just sit and be having fat salaries. They sit and they earn fat salaries that are not taxable, and then that is all. That shouldn't be. I think they need to go beyond the
exactly.
level of what they are doing, and then give power to the local women, to the rural women. Let them, when they come to a country and they discover some women who are spoken in certain areas, they train them, and then you give power to them. You
Exactly,
give power to them.
exactly,
You
exactly. Because
understand? You
one,
give power to them. Well, that is not. I'm not advocating for that for now. But for me, I think if we need improvement radically in some of these areas, there's got to be a radical approach to some of the ways we've been viewing this whole thing. So,
exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And if I can just interject real quick, I feel that they need to increase access to education and leadership roles in those areas. And I feel that, improve economic participation, that will make a difference. And, and we talk about so many things, but also legality, legal reform promoting gender equality is important, because even the United States, as I stated, a powerful country, everybody knows, everyone, any country they are, they want to be in the United States for what they've heard. But there are women still fighting for rights, even today, 2024. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's very much a problem.
yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I also had this. Despite this gain, the rural women continue to face significant challenges every time,
Yes,
including limited access to resources, discrimination of maybe social norms,
yes,
inadequate infrastructural, and
yes,
also moving forward. It's also I would say it's crucial to continue advocating for rights and needs for
Yes,
rural women, and to implement targeted intervention that addresses the root of causes of gender
yes,
inequality in them and in the rural community. Additionally, International Women Day provides an opportunity also to mobilize support, for programs and policies aimed at addressing the specific needs of rural women, and also the effort to improve access to education. Many does not have this access, especially where we come from.
yes,
Healthcare and economic opportunity in rural areas are essential for empowering women and enhancing their well-being. So International Women deserve as a platform to raise awareness about specific challenges faced by
Mhm.
rural women and advocate for their rights and needs. They still need a lot of needs. They need a lot of places to reach right now. And also through awareness, raising campaigns, community events, and grassroots initiatives. Observance of this day is also helps to shine and spotlight on the contribution of rural women of their community and economic. So we should, it's something that there's a little impact in their lives, their well-being, and although challenges remains in ensuring their full inclusion and empowerment. So in many of this community, women face unique barriers of accessing all these things I've just mentioned: healthcare,
yeah,
education, economic opportunities,
it's true.
and also decision-making rules. They don't allow them to make decisions sometimes,
Yeah,
and they relegate them to the background.
yeah,
So we still need to push more, and God will help us. Amen.
yes,
exactly,
yes.
exactly. There is still much work to be done.
There's much to be done.
Mm.
So, but the other side of it, other side of the coins, the women themselves, are they open to learn more? Because one thing is to be advocating for somebody, and another thing is for the willingness, for the person to have the willingness to go the extra mile. Are they? Are they? Are they really open to work cooperatively? Because I heard somebody making mention of loving one another, appreciating what others are doing. Are they really doing that?
Well, some I don't think everyone is, but there are others who are grateful. And then, according to, it has to do also with upbringing, background, culture. All that is in the pool, because there are women still don't feel that they have a voice. And if you go in, you have to approach it very carefully, because for generations, and according to their culture where they're from, they don't feel they have a voice. And even you and I've worked in the secular world in banking. I just retired a year ago, but been ministry also I felt all my life. And we have seen both sides. And I'm sure you have also to Archbishop. You have seen both sides. So if they're not open, it's very difficult to, we have to be careful how you approach, because culture plays a very, very important part, even within the church itself, because we don't want to, we want to help, but we don't want to put a block before we even begin. So we have to gently approach in certain things. But women are open, and some will never change. Their women will never change. They're comfortable where they are. It's like a woman in an abusive situation, and you counsel and counsel and counsel, and they leave, and you feel good. You feel they're going to make a change this time. And you realize no change is done. So it takes a whole lot, but there are women who are changing. There are women who are embracing it, but culture has a lot to do with it and the upbringing.
Hmm. This is
Yeah.
awesome. Yes, let's hear from Dr. Lawton.
So studies have shown that behavioral change is one of the most difficult change to
Yes,
achieve in human beings. You
yes,
could you could give me so much more education. You could empower me financially, and you'll be able to see the difference. But changing behaviors is very difficult. And like Bishop has mentioned, there are social norms and cultural practices that have been with us for a very long time that determines what we accept, what we are open to.
yeah,
And so one of the basic things that most interventions and programs for women do is to actually target behaviors, cultural norms
okay,
that have shaped the way women think. So if you want to help me and I'm not open to help, it is because there is a cultural norm,
yeah,
there's an attitude
yeah,
that needs to be transformed to make me see my need and also make me want to accept the help that we are bringing.
yes,
So, and the other thing that we also need to do is study the women, the environment in which they come from.
yeah,
Why do women think the way they think? Why are they resisting help? For example, why is a woman insisting that she's going to stay in an abusive relationship?
exactly.
We need to understand these things because if we don't understand them, we may even be bringing
No problem.
interventions and help that the
Absolutely.
women will not even embrace because
Yeah,
it's not addressing the root cause. So, I mean, there is need for greater understanding of
Absolutely.
women and looking at them in their different context. You
yes,
know? So the way you will approach women in different parts of the world will be different.
exactly.
Even,
Yes.
I mean, from
It's true.
different religions
It's
will
true.
also be different.
Yes,
So there
Absolutely.
needs to be that context in anything, any intervention, any programs that we are planning for women, so that they will embrace it and will achieve the success that we want to achieve. If not, you may just
Absolutely.
be taking programs to women and
it's
you discover that half of them they are not embracing it. The other half, the interventions are not even addressing the root cause.
exactly, exactly.
Exactly.
You're right. You are very, very, very right. And that is part of the reason why I made mention that the UN must give power to the local women. Do you understand? When I say local women, I'm not talking about just those who cannot read and write. I'm talking about people like us here
Mhm.
who are from that area and who have studied, who are capable of handling and knowing our own women, discerning them, knowing what they need, and knowing how to pass over their 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 desires, knowing how
Absolutely.
to penetrate them. That's what I mean by
Mhm.
give power, hand over power to those, and then watch and see if we are able to change some of the uh, areas that needs to be changed. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Somebody who is just tuning to this broadcast. Remember, this is coming to you live on Majesty Christian Television Network, your popular network online and the cable. So you may access this very broadcast on Saturday live at Salto Television. Those of you who want to watch it online on YouTube, please remember you can go to majestytv.org and then check it out after 2 hours. So, in case you have something to add to our discussion, please WhatsApp us on 31-684-606-550. We are discussing on the Invest in Women hashtag Accelerate Progress as the theme of International Women's Day 2024. Now, ladies, how useful is the annual commemoration of this International Women's Day globally? And would you say that it has helped to bridge the gender gap between men and women so far in your own district? Has it bridged it? Among the Igbo people, I don't think it's even bridging because the Igbo men are still thinking the way they are. So I'm talking. I'm from Nigeria, and from the side called the Igbos. The men are still thinking the same way. So I got about wondering.
All right. So let me. I mean, I have a public health background. So
Okay.
let me talk from that background of bridging the gap. I mean,
Yeah.
um public studies have shown that women make the majority of the health workforce anywhere in the world. You go to a hospital, you find mostly women working. So you find 70% globally, averagely, you have women as the workforce in the health sector. But
Wow.
when you get to leadership, in the same health workforce, then you find more of males. You discover that the table is turned the other way. Then you have 30% women representation at leadership, and then 70% of men. So I read this quote on the Harvard Public Health newsletter that women are laborers and not leaders. So you discover that you have a lot of women who labor but don't get to leadership position.
Yeah.
Has the International Women's Day done anything to bridge the gap? I would say yes. Um, it was also said by the WHO that it may take up to 140 years for us to be able to bridge the existing gap. So
Oh.
we shouldn't be in a hurry to bridge the existing gap between women and men in terms of opportunities. It is not something that is going to be achieved overnight. And every year, every opportunity we have to make a contribution is making the gap to reduce. So I think that the International Women's Day has helped to increase representation of women in leadership position. In my own opinion, I think the society is getting more aware of the fact that being a woman doesn't mean you're a dumbhead,
No, no, no.
or that you can't, or you are just a bunch of emotions. All you do is just have emotions. I think the society is saying that women can actually contribute to intellectual discussions. And so I would say that in terms of representation, there's been some budge to give women space. I mean, not as much. I mean, it take a while, but
Yeah.
that budge is happening. Especially because you now have some organizations who only fund programs that have good representation of women. I
Okay.
see grants that say what proportion of your leadership is women,
Okay.
or they say
That's good.
we will give opportunity to women-led organization. So there
Okay.
is some intentionality
Yeah.
um, at the top to ensure that women have that opportunity. So I would say that there is a budge. It may not be what we want, but
Okay.
the gap is closing in gradually.
It has to close.
Mhm.
It has to really close very fast, because you are saying that the WHO is saying that it is going to take 150 years.
Well, that's just for
That is what
the
for,
health
yeah,
sector.
for the gap to come closer. But I want to say something here, that I discovered that the first woman to go to university in this country we are in the Netherlands, in the year 1610, she tried to go to Utrecht University, and she was not allowed. She was not allowed to sit with men. As far back as 1610, and today we are in 2020 something. So I do not know how the gap is closing, really. So she ended up studying, but she studied indoors. While the men were in the classroom, she was being put in another place. She studied by the window, watching the men, and she was studying by the window. Her exam, she had to write exam through the window. Can you think about that?
Mhm.
No,
In
those
Okay.
Utrecht University here in the Netherlands, as far back as that time.
those kind of
Mm.
things have not changed in certain countries. There are women, there are countries here, even 2024, that women, they stop women from the job, they close them out as being doctors. They are not allowed they had to step away from the job that they work hard in school. All those certificates. There are countries here today, 2024, that women had to stop doing everything. They're not allowed because they're not supposed to be in those side of position. But I just want to share something real quickly. One major gain bridging the gender gap since the United Nations began marking International Women's Day is the increased focus on women's education and their representation in leadership position. And according to a report by the United Nations Women, there have been significant progress, they say, in achieving gender parity and primary education globally, with more girls attending school than ever before.
Yes, it's true.
But we have not gone that far. In 2024, we should have gone much further, because some of you may know and may understand even that I remember when girls used to, promiscuous and they may got pregnant, they were punished. They were sent away, according to the baby, while the boys going around like nothing happened.
Yeah,
And
it's
when
true.
I shared that with my daughter, she was like appalled. Those were those days. And the girl was punished severely as if she was the only one that got herself pregnant, and she was not allowed to go to school. So what parents would do was send her far away, said she had to go help her grandmother or someone, and she stayed to have the baby, and an aunt or someone would step up and take the child as their own, so the girl could come back and go to school. But if the girl is in school and someone inquisitive enough to tell the school and show proof, they would throw the girl out of school.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah,
So
because they didn't want the girl to they didn't want the girl to show that sort of example to other girls, because if they begin to tolerate it, probably we would be having so many young girls who are pregnant before they graduate, and that wouldn't be good for the school.
and nothing wrong with that.
That wouldn't
But
be
you
good.
don't punish the girl
That
alone.
wouldn't
What
be good as well for the girl, because even here we've seen many girls they drop out of school because of pregnancy. You see, the society will want that they get education, but the women, because of promiscuity, they are dropping out of school. Would you like that? Would you like your child to drop out of school?
Mm-mm.
So if there's any discipline that has to be given to them, that discipline will now make them to be afraid of being so loose, so that they can at least get education first before you begin to do any other thing. When we were small, I was always hearing my mother and my father hammering it in our ears: get education first before any other thing. Get education first.
Absolutely.
You see,
Absolutely.
because when a girl is messed up sexually, it takes a long time before she gains herself again to be able to be pushed back to school.
I agree with you there, but the one thing I don't agree with, she did not get pregnant by herself. So someone else should also be punished if the girl is going to be punished. And you find that in many countries now, the girl can even be raped, and she either be murdered by a family member, or she decided that she did not want to, because there are a lot of families still marry cousins and marry each other, and she wants someone from outside of it. If that father doesn't agree, her life is in danger. Those are the things. So I'm not saying that they should not, you should push that. No, I don't believe in pushing that. But my main focus is, if the girl is going to be punished, then she didn't get pregnant by herself. See, when they came to stone the woman, Jesus said, he without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah, it's true.
And I felt, let's say, majority of those men stoning may have slept with her because she stepped around the town. You see what I'm saying? And when we read the scripture, we have to read, these are past events. And we have to put in our mind the culture at the time. What was happening? That's how you exegete it. What was happening at the time? So Jesus wrote whatever, curious what he wrote in the ground, and he turned around, and when he said, "He without sin cast the first stone," according to the Bible that we believe in, they went away because none could cast a stone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Yeah.
Jesus addressed the issue. One more thing, real quickly, about the UN. Another important gain in the improved economic participation of women around the world. The World Bank reported that over the past few decades, there have been a gradual increase in female labor force participation rate globally, leading to greater economic empowerment for women. And I can also piggyback and state that I don't know if I thought I heard someone say that, but just to share that even in Bangladesh, the women have their little bank account. I know some of you may have followed that, and they start because they were suffering and struggling. And a lot of them have great husbands, but they couldn't provide enough. And then the woman, someone came in and set them up and teach them how to do their banking. Now they have their own businesses helping the family. And they said since they've set those women up, they have had no problem as far
Wow,
as the loan. They're working, paid it back, living
awesome.
good. So give a woman a pound of flour
She
and some water
multiplies.
and stuff, and I guarantee you they find a way to make a meal.
Mhm.
Okay. For me, I think just like
Same
what
thing.
Bishop said, and Bishop Larry also, it's something that, yes, the both of them have sinned, so they should both be expelled from school and have a distant school. There's what they call distant school. They can
Exactly.
continue their school with by distance
Yeah,
and not stop the school.
yeah, okay.
In those days,
Exactly.
yes, they before they gain their stand again, and it takes time. But now we are in a generation that they can also go to school in distance.
Yeah,
So they should not deprive the women because they are pregnant not to go to school, not to
yeah,
further. And also, I just believe that since this day, I think there have been they made in the bridging of the gender, what I call it, gap worldwide. One major gain is the increase representative of women in leadership position
yes,
across various sectors.
yeah,
So maybe like including politics, you can see women becoming presidents
yeah,
today.
yes,
Business wise, many women have their business, they are CEO of their own company, and
Yeah.
just like what we said, academically also they are into schools. So additionally, they have there's progress in narrowing the gender gap in education, with more girls enrolling in school, accessing higher levels of education. Many are even doctors today, to
yes,
the extent of they make sure they become someone. The effort to address this gender-based also violence of just like what Pastor Olaton said,
yeah,
the violence also yielding positive results, people that are being violated in their marriages, the awareness and the advocacy leading to improvement of law and policies. It's now they are protecting women, protecting them from being harmed by their spouse, and there's a
yes,
lot of awareness. So, and moreover, initiative of to promote economic empowerment also, such as microfinances. Many people are helping women now to
yeah,
have their own microfinance program, entrepreneurship training, and also they also enable women to access financial resources now,
yes, yes,
achieving greater economic independence. They are being independent right now. Overall, the UN recognition of International Women's Day as catalyze global action on gender equality, so leading to tangible improvements in women's rights and the opportunities. So
yes,
while challenges remains, there's a lot of challenges, but the gain made so far serve as a testimony or testament to the power of a collective effort in advancing gender justice, creating a more equitable world for all. So we should continue to push on and make sure that women are being heard. And
yes,
women, we have more presidents, we have more governors, we have more professors, and so on and so forth. Even if we are giving birth, we should also be given equal rights. Someone was saying it, we're discussing one day, and someone was telling me that I said, women need to be giving more salary because we do more things. We give birth, we carry our babies for 9 months, we take care of children, we
Yeah.
come home to continue the cures, we come home to do many things, and we should be given more salary because we work more harder than the men. And I said, I think you are right. Hallelujah.
If I can just interject, according to a
Oh
report.
my God! Not even finishing our whole lesson. I believe that we have enjoyed this whole discussion, and I can see you really have a lot to impact our generation. So please, I want to appeal that from time to time, I will be stretching forth my hand to invite us for one discussion or the other, because I believe that if we continue to bring out our ideas together and discuss on these common issues, in one way or the other, it will be impacting other women out there. So please, I've taken your time, and I know it is for good, because wherever this gospel is being preached, people are watching it in different parts of the world. You will be remembered. your labor of love today will never be in vain. So God richly bless each and every one of you, and please let our doors be open to inviting and getting to know each other more and more. Let's do something. Let's do more of this.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for being with us today. And do you have something to say to tell our audience regarding this broadcast? Is any your last take for this day? What would it be? What are you leaving behind to those women who are going to watch and those fans who are going to watch later on? What are you leaving behind?
Okay, I would say that
for instance, how much investment is still being needed to inspire the women?
Okay, I would say that I want to call women to invest in themselves. Let's look out for each other. Many times when we talk about women, especially on a day like this, we're always looking at the men. The men should do this. I also want to say that women, we can help each other. There is so much that we can do for each other.
Yes.
So let's look out for each other and not think that, if all the women in this world are out to help each other, I'm sure we would go a very long way. So let's look out for each other. Let women also help women as well. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'll also say that investing in women yields significant returns and benefits, not only for women, also they help their families, their community. When we invest in women, they also spread it, they help others. So, and also when women are empowered and economically independent, they invest in their children, education, they invest in health, they invest in their well-being, leading the intergenerational benefits and the poverty reduction. So we should always be ready to invest in women, and therefore to inspire more progress towards gender equality. Government, businesses, and the civil society organization must prioritize investment in women's education. Very important. Healthcare, economic empowerment, and leadership development. So by doing so, we can create a more just, prosperous, and sustainable world for all women.
Awesome.
Amen.
Awesome. Bishop?
Yeah.
Yes. Investing, I agree with her, investing women not only benefit individuals, but also has a positive impact on our communities and our economies. And by, allocating resources toward initiatives that empower women and promote gender equality, we can create a more inclusive and prosperous society for all. So let us continue to strive for equality and empowerment for all women around the world. And thank you so much for allowing me to share. And I enjoy the discussion today with these wonderful women of God, beautiful women.
Yes, right. God bless you all. And I want to say, love you. And shall we together say Happy International Women's Day to all the women? Can we do that, please?
Yes.
Yes. Can we do that?
Happy International Women's Day
to
everyone.
Bye bye for now.